p.m. Eastern version, our last 3 p.m. episode of Speaker Co-working. We're going to just focus on our 12 p.m. version of Speaker Co-working going forward. I am Ron Story. I am the head of fingernail filing for SpeakerHub. And sometimes I get speakers booked for podcast interviews, paid speaking gigs, and press coverage. I'm joined by Angela Lewis, who's actually the head of operations. That's her actual title. She makes sure that our 24 full-time employees and 18 contractors stay in line so that I can do things like this. We help speakers from around the world to get booked on more stages, whether they're a customer of SpeakerHub or not. We don't care. We just got to push more positive messages out into the world. So thank you all for joining us, and we're going to help you. So we always start off by allowing our first-time visitors to introduce themselves. And today we have Natalie Luke from Detroit. Natalie, you want to tell us about what you do?
So by day, I am a senior vice president at a diagnostic company, and by night, I am an author of a book called Unsealing You. I also have a podcast with the same name, Unsealing You. And there you go.
Okay, cool. And who do you help? How do you help them?
So I help women, ambitious women who want to take themselves to the next level, either within the corporate space or just really becoming their version 2.0, getting to that next level.
Okay, cool. And do you do that through your own framework or, um, something like that or no?
Yes. My book is really detailing a framework. And what I did was in that book, I described how my mother went from a stay-at-home mom to becoming a physician. She entered medical school when at the age of 31. I was 16 at the time. And so I used her story to say, okay, this is what she did first. This is the next thing. This is the next thing. So that the book pretty much has the full framework.
No, that's incredible. That's super duper 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 cool. So, um, any questions that you have about getting booked on more stages?
Yeah, how do I do it? I've been on like I have through word of mouth got onto stages, but I'm really wanting to get paid to be on stages.
Okay. So we always ask one magic question. Are you looking to get paid to speak or speak to get paid?
Well, I'm assuming that you have to speak to get paid first, but I'd like to get paid to speak.
Okay. All right. And how many gigs did you do in 2024?
One,
Okay. And how much they pay you?
zero.
Okay. And how do you want that to change in 2025?
I'd like it to change to where I gave a pretty good talk. It could be better, but I would like to, in 2025, be able to give 6 to 10 talks where I get paid.
Okay. And why should they choose you over another person?
Um, well, I have a lot of experience and I have a pretty great, motivating podcast that people can use to move on with. And so I think those are positive things that can come with me. I think I
Okay.
need to make sure I do my homework as well, so
Okay.
I can
Cool.
know what value I'm delivering.
No, I think that that's cool. I mean, that's what we all go through. So you're fine. The If I could hire you right now, what's your fee?
$8,000.
Okay. Why?
Because I just chose that out of the air.
Okay. Look, let me tell you what we don't do. We don't determine other people's value. Your
Okay.
value is your value, right?
Okay.
Now, the giggle just showed you negotiating against yourself.
Yeah.
You see that? I didn't even have to say anything. I said, okay, why? And you're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I said something too high, right? This is a hypothetical situation. I don't even
Yeah.
have a stage to put you on, but
Yeah.
it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Now, Here's why I have no problem with you stating that as your value. Why? Because even if you said $1,000, I still would have said why.
Hmm.
Because that's what the person who's hiring you is asking.
Yeah.
Why are they worth this amount? Now,
Right.
they may be limited in their budget where
Hmm.
they can't pay you that amount,
Right.
right? But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't ask for that amount.
Right. Yeah.
Now, have you ever gotten paid 8 grand for a speech?
No.
Okay. So if they offered you 3 grand, would you still take it?
Yeah.
Exactly. So at least you negotiated down versus versus not asking for a number at all. If you started at, well, I'll just do it for free. They're not going to say, but no, we'll just give you 3 grand as a bonus. They're not going to do that. They're going to take it for
No.
free.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So
That makes sense.
establishing a value is the first thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's no different than, I'll give you a great example of this. Where's my iPhone, right? This is iPhone, right?
Hmm.
Still look brand new.
Yeah.
No cracks, nothing. How much did you pay for this?
Probably. I think it was right. I bet you around 1,700 or something like that.
You'll give me $1,000?
Oh no, I won't give you $1,000. That's probably what it came out of at the store.
Okay, so $1,000 at the store, right?
Yeah.
How much did you pay before?
Pay you for your phone?
Yeah,
100?
$100.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Sold.
No, 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 no.
AJ?
AJ, how much you pay?
I pay between 10,000 and 15,000 for it.
10,000. Okay, all right.
You got to keep the contacts on there.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. How much did you pay, Alicia?
750.
Huh?
750.
$750?
Yeah,
Okay, you're gonna lose to AJ. AJ offered me 10,000.
that's okay.
Now, I got 3,200 contacts in there,
Mm,
right? And I know a lot of people.
yeah.
And then, wait a minute. Not only do I got 3,200 contacts, I have, let's see, 319 audiobooks
Mm,
at $10 a piece. That's already 3 grand. And we know Audible, they $15 a piece. So that's
yeah.
$5,000 worth of audiobooks just right there.
But you're not going to give it to him with all that information on it. You'd probably be sent it to factory.
But that wasn't in the, I said, how much did you pay for my phone?
Hmm. I was not even thinking about like AJ was thinking. I was thinking that all that stuff was going to be wiped.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what
if
we
you send
make.
it to
That's the mistake
factory.
we make all the time, though,
Mm,
right? So we set a value on an assumption without clarifying what we're worth or what we're providing.
mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
How many people, if you saw someone choking,
Mm.
how many people would help them with CPR?
Hamlet.
I
Huh?
would, but
You would, right?
yeah.
Okay. Does that mean that the value of it is nothing?
No.
You see the difference? Even though you're
Yeah.
willing to do it for free, that doesn't mean that it's worthless. Right? To that person whose life you saved, oh,
Hmm.
dude, they would have given you half the money in their bank account if they knew that they were going to be choking.
Yeah.
Since they didn't know they were going to be choking and you don't want it on your conscience that you could have saved them, you saved them for free. But if they had to make a choice, pay Natalie half of my money or die, well, go and take it. I'll give her all of it to make sure that she has to walk around with me to make sure I never die. Right? So the value of something isn't always what we assume the value to be, even when it comes to our own services. Who the heck is calling me? One second. My iPad is ringing,
Uh-oh.
which is weird. What the heck is this noise?
That's why I want his phone so I can get all those people calling me.
Oh, that's funny.
Those are potential customers.
You know what? Oh, shoot. I got a podcast recording. One second.
Uh-oh. I just got off of one.
How many podcasts do you do, Natalie?
So I just started my podcast and I release the 12th one next week, and then I have 14 more recorded and ready to go.
I'm just like you. I just started mine. I've
Yeah.
released the second one. I have 20 recorded, so I'm getting all of them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been a journey.
Let me see. Do it at 1 o'clock. Yes, let's do that. Yes.
What is your podcast on?
So it's called Business Problem Solvers. And I'm using it as a way to connect with business owners and just see what they're doing in the industry. When I was living in Atlanta, I was known as a connector just because I knew if I didn't know you, I knew how to get in touch with you. And I was like, you know what, being in South America now, podcasting is allowing me to build those relationships again with business owners. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you live, where are you living now?
I'm in Medellin, Colombia, in South America.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
What
So
made you decide to move?
the weather, it stays between 60 and 80 all year round here. So yeah, that's what did it for me. But it's the podcasting has been awesome. It's been awesome. Do you do interviews or are you just doing it yourself?
I'm doing interviews, and today I actually had someone interview me.
Nice.
So it's the first time that I get to talk. So I was surprised at how nervous I was.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. Yeah, I feel like the more you do it, the more comfortable you get.
Mhm.
Man. You back around?
Yep, I'm back. I'm back. I was able to move it 45 minutes. Cool.
Cool.
I forgot what you was talking about.
Oh, we were talking about the value of your phone.
Oh yeah.
And
You can't let someone else establish your value, right? Now
yeah.
you can negotiate down, but me personally, I don't want certain numbers associated with my value, right? I don't want someone to be able to say, "Oh, I got him for this amount."
Yeah.
No, tell them I gave you a deal at that amount.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the other side. Let me give you a great example, right? With what you do, you said you have a book. What's the name of the book?
Unsealing your career at any age. And it's like the unsealing the roof on your ceiling above you.
Okay, right. And could you if you were asked to give a quick synopsis of the book, how many pages is the book?
I think it was like 146 pages.
Okay. If you had to give a 17-minute TED talk on it, could you?
I could. I haven't.
Just yes or no.
Yes.
You could,
Yes.
right? You can sum it up in 17 minutes, right?
Yeah.
If you had to give a 4-hour workshop on what's in the book, could you?
Absolutely.
A 1-week training, could you?
I would supplement it, and yeah, I could.
Mm-hmm. A 1-year executive training.
I would say I could. I'd prefer 6 months.
Okay, cool. Why don't those things exist?
Time, putting it all together.
Yeah. So I want to share some data with you,
Okay.
right? Because which one do you think is easier? Speaking to get paid or getting paid to speak?
Which one's easier? Speaking to get paid, I think would be easier.
Okay. So do people take the hard route or the easy route?
Hard.
People take the hard route. You think so?
They don't want to, but they do by mistake.
Okay. All right. So cool. This is a perfect setup. You just answered your own question, right? So this is the survey that a lot of people fill out in order to meet us, right? So 700 people so far in March have completed this. Thousands of people have completed it beforehand,
Okay.
right? So all of them are looking for the easy way. They want to get paid to speak. How many of them got a speaking gig this year in the last 24 months? I mean, the last 12 months. 50% did 0 to 5.
Oh, wow. So we don't know what percentage of those people are at zero.
Yeah, probably 100.
Mm,
Probably a lot of them,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
But 5 still isn't enough to pay the bills,
No, not
right?
at all.
But if we look at that, 76% of the industry isn't even speaking once a month.
Right.
So your goal was to be in the top 25% of the industry, but because you said you wanted to do more than
Hmm.
10 gigs.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting.
80% of the industry is getting paid under $5,000 and 49% of them are getting paid under $1,000.
Whoa.
Why? Because everybody wants the easy route. And you know what the event planner says? Supply and demand. If there is more supply of speakers
Uh-huh.
than what there is the demand for speakers, who lowers their price?
It's the speakers.
Yeah. So everybody wants to get paid to speak. Nobody wants to, they really want to get paid to perform versus solve a problem. So what does that leave?
Mm.
76% of speakers make less than $25,000 a year,
Right.
despite what they say on Instagram, despite what they say on LinkedIn. They're not making a lot because they don't want to put in the work to solve the problem.
Yeah, I see.
Hey, just pay me to come talk. Cool. Well, how much you get paid? I get paid $8,000. What'd you get paid at your last one? Nothing. Oh crap. I'm nervous now. I'm not picking on you. I'm just using you as an
Yeah,
example.
yeah, yeah. No, no. Yeah.
Because this is the conversation, right?
Hmm.
And our job at SpeakerHub is to help you to do more.
Right.
Get more gigs, get paid more, get on more stages, get more impact, all of those things. But we can't do it if we don't know where we're starting from. If you're
Hmm.
in your mind starting from a place that really doesn't exist for new speakers,
Hmm.
then you'll just be disappointed with every company you ever talk to.
Hmm.
Now, we don't just work with new speakers. Let's come down and see how long have the people who answered this survey been speaking. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. One second. They're just not new speakers. These are speakers that's been in it for a long time.
And they answered those questions earlier like
Yeah,
that?
they all answered.
Wow. That's kind of depressing.
This is in the last 30 days. This is since March 1st. This is
Wow.
700 applications. We've done 729 applications since March 1st,
Okay. Well,
right?
look at that. Only 487 finished it.
Yeah, because they quit, just like else. I ain't gonna get into that.
That's
I ain't gonna
sad.
get into that. But that's what you see what I'm talking about. This too hard. Cool. Stay over there.
Huh.
Right? But we've asked this, this is just since March 1st. We've been asking these questions since January, actually since December, right?
Hmm.
So this data is pretty accurate.
Hmm.
Now, here's the cool thing about it. It doesn't have to be that way, right?
Hmm.
So if you made that remove your ceiling, what is it called? Unseal,
Unsealing, yeah.
right? If you did your unsealing course, how much would you sell it for?
I'd love to sell it for $3,000.
Okay. If you got in front, if you got in a room with your ideal target audience,
Hmm.
and there were 30 of them,
Hmm.
do you think one of them would at least be interested in talking to you about it after listening to you for an hour?
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
Right. Yeah. So there's nothing wrong with getting paid zero if you
As
just change your
long I'm in
version.
the right audience.
Yeah, as long as you're the event planner may not be the person that can pay you to speak.
Hmm.
It may be the audience. So you
Hmm.
show up to speak for free,
Hmm.
but you get your clients out of the audience.
Right,
Right? You go speak at
right.
the conference, but if you're really good and you're really providing the value that we believe we provide, and we've done, like you said, I need to do my homework. If you've done your homework to get
Hmm.
your lead captures and all of those things set up,
Hmm.
it's a win.
Hmm.
If I asked you this, hey, I have I've invited 100 people in your target audience to come to this conference room, and they're going to sit out in front and I'm going to introduce you to them personally myself. Would you show up?
Yeah.
Right? Would you speak at that event for free?
If I can sell my program, yes.
Okay. Would you pay to speak at that event?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right. Okay. And that's no problem, right? AJ, got 100 people in your audience, 100 entrepreneurs that want to do conferences. I brought them all together because they're all speakers. They do coaching, they do all of that stuff. They may be interested in your product. I got 3 people competing for this one spot. It's going to the highest bidder. How much you gonna pay?
You have 100 people. I would start off at 5,000.
Right? At least that's a bid, right?
Mhm.
Because I can give someone for free. I can make some money off this stage because I'm giving him a referral to 100 people.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. I'm giving him a referral. I'm saying
Yeah,
I
I hear
vouch for
you.
him on this stage. Now, imagine if AJ said this. Let me reverse this around.
Okay.
Natalie, have you ever given a referral?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine if the company said you had to pay them to give them a referral.
That's where I have a little bit like,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
You got to pay the company to give them a referral to your friends and family.
Oh, I need to pay the company to give a referral.
Yeah.
I would have to wonder, like, okay, well,
Let me give you a great example. Let's say I own SpeakerHub.
Okay.
And you said, Ron, I want to introduce you to 5 other speakers and authors that I know.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, give me $5,000 and I'll let you introduce me to those other 5 people.
I see what you're saying.
No. Would you do it? Would you
No.
pay me $5,000 to introduce you, for you to introduce me to 5 of your friends?
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm being stupid, but I wouldn't.
Exactly. But that's what you're asking event planners to do.
I see.
You're saying, hey, pay me to introduce me to your referrals.
I
And make
gotcha.
you look good and shine the lights and pop smoke and make everybody and get everybody
Yeah.
stand up and clap for me. Pay me $5,000 to do that for me so I can sell my stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we won't.
Yeah.
We won't. Because if you're as good as you say you are, some of these people are going to buy from you anyway. So we're not going to pay you to give you referrals.
Right.
If you reframe speaking to look at it from that perspective, the opportunity becomes so big. Because now you know what all your competition is doing. Pay me to show up. Cool. I'm going to show up for free. Well, we already got 5 people that are interested for free. Cool. I'll give you $5,000. Well, shoot, we ain't got nobody offering $5,000. How do you make this transfer? The event planners have realized, unless you're a performer that can help us to sell tickets, unless you're Beyonce, that when we put Natalie Luke
I see.
on the flyer, more people are going to say, yeah, we should buy that because Natalie's going to be there. Why are we paying her to give her referrals to our audience? She should be paying us. You know why? Because the sponsor who put their billboard up in the back, they paid us $20,000 and we ain't even let them talk. They paid us $5,000 to be on the book, and we ain't even let them say anything. So we're gonna pay her to get up here and talk about her product. Yeah, next year. Come back next year. Fill out the application, get in line, because we don't want to tell you no. Right? So we'll just say you didn't qualify. We'll just put you over here in this line. That's the speaking business. Now they can't talk about it because there's a speaker board every 3 minutes. Right? Let me give you a great example. And I'm not picking on you. You're just a new person here, and everybody else has heard this 1,000 times, right? In your business, Pathnostics, okay. What are the qualifications to be a lab researcher, what's the job title?
So for a lab researcher, it would be a clinical laboratory scientist.
Okay. If I went and updated my LinkedIn today to clinical laboratory scientist, am I one?
No,
Why not?
you don't have the training, you don't have the certification.
But my price is $80,000 a year.
It doesn't matter for the job.
Why do we do that to public speaking?
Yeah, I mean,
What's the
is there
qualifications to be a speaker?
you yeah, that's a good
Go
question.
ahead. Come on, Cletus.
Well, okay, you gotta be able to speak, hopefully the book and everything else that you have behind you.
Wait a minute. But I studied clinical lab science on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
no.
wrote a book on it.
Yeah, no.
That
You have
don't
to
make me
take
a
a
professional.
test, you have to have that certification behind you, all of those things.
Yeah. So dictating a price for a speaking gig doesn't make you a professional speaker. We've been
No,
talking our whole lives. We haven't been speaking our whole lives.
right.
And I'm not saying you're not a professional speaker. I'm talking about the industry as a whole has been corrupted because there is no qualifications to call yourself a speaker. You can just change your LinkedIn profile.
Right.
With that being the case, the market is flooded with speakers. How many speakers are there in the world right now on LinkedIn? What do you think?
I have no idea.
Let's guess. Come on, let's play the
Okay,
game.
let's go 200,000.
200,000, right? Go over here, LinkedIn. I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna put speaker over here, right? I click speaker. I click on people. How many?
Oh, wow.
1.2
1.2
million.
million.
Yeah. How
Wow.
many of them? How many of them you think took the test?
It was, you had 700, or was it? Yeah, it was 700, but only 400
No,
finished
no,
it.
no. I'm not talking about. We don't have a test.
Oh, a test. No.
How many of you think took the test to get their speaker certification?
None.
Yeah, exactly. But we wonder why there's only so many speaking gigs. There's only 44,000, maybe 50,000 conferences.
Huh. That's depressing. Sort of. Unless you do your homework.
No. It's not depressing if you have the things to make money from it,
Yeah, I see.
right?
Yeah.
It's depressing if you thought it was easy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But the great thing about that 1.1 million, if our data overall, which is a couple thousand people, if that data is correct, 80% of them are never speaking.
They just have it in their title.
Yeah, because the transformation comes before the work.
Right.
You can become a speaker before you ever speak.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes tons of sense.
So our job now. I'm taking you down into this dip. Let me bring you out of it. Let me help you. All right. So here's what we do, and here's how we can definitely help you. All right. So can you tell me your framework in one line, or the name of your framework that you use?
My framework is unsealing your career. 7 steps to getting to the next transformation level.
Okay. Tell me one more time.
Okay, unsealing your career
Mhm.
and 7 steps to getting to the next level.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm going to show you some magic really quickly. Right.
Okay.
So every speaking gig comes in one of two ways, either through inbound leads, meaning someone found you and invited you, or through outbound leads, meaning you reached out to someone and told them that you were available. Right. At SpeakerHub, a podcast, an association, a conference are all the same thing. One is no more valuable than the other. I can make a case for all 3 of them. And if we add media outlets, they're all the same. They're all equal value. Why?
Okay.
Because the average person, well, let me ask you this. Which one has more larger audiences, conferences, podcasts, or associations?
I would say a podcast.
Right? Right? So if you got a referral to a podcast, you have a larger opportunity of making money on the podcast than what you would at a conference, right? Because the
I would
conference may not have that large audience may not come to your breakout session,
yeah,
right?
correct.
And when we look at the data here, what's the size of your audience that you normally speak in front of?
It's usually 100.
Yep, we have that data right here. Let's see. Right? So
32.
only 32%, I guess 35% if we add that 1,000. But
Mm-hmm.
most people are 63% of the industry is speaking to groups under 100 people,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they're willing to wait 9 months for that. Average downloads per podcast episode.
27.
Right? So let's just, on
Huh.
average, a podcast episodes receives 27 episodes within 7 days of release. I'm looking at overall, not within 7 days. I don't care about that.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So, because people watch on different levels, right? What's good in 2025? Right? So they have a number, I think it says 400 and something. Let me do a search. And there it is.
Mm,
421
421.
downloads, right? Per
Mhm.
episode, and about 1,400 downloads per month. Right?
Mhm.
Now, you can do a podcast a day and impact more people than trying to do a conference a month, a conference, a week, right? Just
Mhm.
because you're getting in front of a larger audience of people.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Makes
So
sense.
we want our clients going on podcasts, associations, and conferences. And if you can get an article in a magazine, you'll make more money than any speaker in the industry.
Oh, okay.
The reason being is that by going on podcast, you can get on those in 2 weeks. You already know you have a podcast of your own.
Yeah.
But the problem with having only doing your own podcast is that it's harder to grow your podcast than what it is to get on other people's to grow your audience by going on other people's,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that in your area, there are a bunch of local associations that would bring you in to speak. They won't pay you anything for that 30 to 40-minute speech, but the people in the audience would hire you to come in to come talk, maybe either coach them privately or to come
Mm-hmm.
talk to their teams.
Mm-hmm.
You can get those in 2 months. So we call it 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 quarters. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we think about conferences are booked 6 months out. So
Yeah.
right now in March, if you're trying to get a conference in 2025, you're pitching November, December.
Yep.
So if you wanted to do 20 gigs this year and they all were conferences, you got to do 10 in December. Yeah, we're already
Yeah,
in
you're not going to do that.
But most people aren't thinking that way because they don't know.
Yeah.
So that's why we do the flywheel,
Okay.
so that you can consistently be on podcasts, consistently be speaking locally, and
Mm-hmm.
consistently be speaking at conferences while writing articles to build your
Okay.
thought leadership. But you should be always selling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you're selling, the better off you are, because you
Mm-hmm.
have a product that works when you're not working.
Right.
Does that make sense? Is this
Yeah.
helpful?
Yeah.
Right? So let me go back to my original question. Would you like to speak to get paid or get paid to speak?
Speak to get paid.
Oh, we got to convert. Ring the alarms, ring the alarms, get the swords. Let's night, Natalie. No, I'm just kidding. But that's the opportunity. That's what we do at SpeakerHub. We help you to kind of think through that. because if you're not getting on more
I
stage,
like the little celebration
oh,
thing.
there it is. There it is. We won, right? We're trying to help you to make more. Let me show you how we do it really quickly. I'll give you a link so you can get in our directory.
Okay.
This directory has 64,000 speakers, more or less, in it, right? And on, would you say your talk is a leadership talk, a career growth talk? What type of talk is it?
It's both leadership and career growth.
Okay. So I type in leadership. All of our leadership speakers are going to pop up, right? And you can see the leadership folks like, yeah, I know what this is. I didn't realize they all were silver or gold. They all pay. That is incredible, right?
Mhm.
But they get it because they know that that's a big thing. And so does our career folks. They're like, yeah, let me get a paid account because I want to show all of my stuff in order to stand out. So this is our directory. I'll give you a link where you can put your profile in our directory so that
Mhm.
our 10,000 event planners can find you.
Okay.
And they can offer you a gig if you fit, but you're competing with all of these people.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right. So that's one way. That's called inbound. That's where you wait for someone to come to you.
Mhm.
Outbound is the other way that we help speakers. Right. So I'm going to show you how this works. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put in Natalie Luke. And what's the name of your business, Natalie?
Unsealing you, like, and then yeah, that's it.
Like that?
Yep.
All right. And where are you located?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit.
Yes. It's actually a way nice city.
Huh?
It's a nice city.
Oh, yeah. How long have you been there?
I want to say about 15 years.
Okay. Yeah, my one of my best friends, their family used to own the Detroit Riverwalk Hotel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they sold it a few years ago, but yeah. And you help who to do what? I help.
Ambitious women transform their careers, their lives and their careers.
Using
Using a 7-step process to unseal their potential.
and you have a website?
Yeah, it's unsealingyou.com.
Right. And are you on LinkedIn?
Yes.
Natalie Luke.
Yeah, someone introduced me to you yesterday. Yep,
Who's
that's
that?
it. How do you say her name?
Say Ron.
Yes.
Hey, yeah, I remember our conversation. Yeah, Say Ron. Yep,
Yep, that's me.
Sayron's one of our lifetime members. She's gotten on a lot of bookings with us.
Mm.
But she proactively pitches all the time. Like she's not waiting. Sayron is not a waiter. She's gonna reach out to people, right? Was she on your podcast?
She contacted me to be on my podcast, so we're gonna get her scheduled.
Yep. And that's where she found it. She found you
Yeah.
over here, right?
Ah.
So in the past,
Oh.
I had to go to your website, read all your bio, learn all about you, all of those things in
Right.
order to be able to help you, right? And then we would write the bio for you and try to match you with podcast and speaking gigs.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Now we use AI to do it.
Oh, okay.
What's happening is that it's looking at your bio, looking at your LinkedIn, and in about 5 seconds, it's going to go ahead and write this bio for you.
Oh, wow.
There it is. I'm Natalie Luke, a speaker and author out of Detroit, Michigan, dedicated to empowering ambitious women to transform their lives and careers. With a passion for helping others break barriers, I've developed a unique 7-step framework designed to unseal potential and foster growth, success, and fulfillment. Through my speaking engagements and written works, I strive to inspire women everywhere to pursue their highest aspirations and achieve success they've always dreamed of. Does this sound accurate?
Yeah.
All right. So based on that, when I click on podcast, it's automatically
Oh, wow. Cool.
automatically to it.
There's my podcast.
There it is. Bam. Look at that.
Yeah.
What is the irony of that?
And I was on the podcast, The Fred Framework.
Wait. This is the
Oh.
best demonstration that if you talk about this, we should probably recommend your podcast.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right.
Yeah.
Here's what happens. Say Ron was able to listen to your podcast
Oh, cool.
from here,
Yeah.
add it to a list, and then she clicked pitch.
Oh, cool.
And our system looked at Say Ron's bio, looked at your podcast, and in about 5 seconds wrote what we thought would be appropriate.
Cool. That's awesome.
And it's proof that it worked because that's how you know Say Ron. And
Yes.
that's right? There
Yeah.
it is. That's what we do. So that's how we help business owners use their voice. Your most valuable sales tool is your voice for your business, right? So if you're not on other podcasts, going to talk to other events in Detroit, do you know any businesses in Detroit that don't have women in it?
I hope not.
Yeah, so that means you got 459 you can go talk to.
Okay. Awesome.
So I don't want to hear, ain't no associations. These associations don't fit. Do you have women that work here? Yes. Okay, come in and talk.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When it comes to conferences, look at all these different women in residential and commercial
That is so
construction.
cool.
Professional Women's Conference, HRC Symposium for Hispanic and Inclusion.
Empowering women.
We got them all,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You want to go to this conference? Click on it, add it to a list. Click pitch.
Oh, wow. That is so much easier.
Now look at the conference, look at you. And
Yeah.
in 5 seconds, it should be done. Hey, David, are you currently seeking speakers for the Women in Construction Conference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
This is how we help. This is the cheat code. Right? Once you give the speech, wouldn't it be great to get leads from the speech you gave?
Yes.
Yeah, we give you the QR code
Okay.
that you can use on your slides. People always ask, can I get your slides? How do I keep in contact? But you also want reviews. So in
Yeah.
exchange for the slides,
Mm-hmm.
they give you a review.
Mm-hmm.
They give you the code to do that. And then the responses come directly in. I love the part about break dancing and eating shawarma.
What does it look like when they click on that? When a person that's in the audience clicks on that code?
Got your phone?
Oh, yeah. Oh, neat.
Right? So here's what she's saying on the phone there. So what she's saying is, how was Natalie's presentation? And they can put in their name.
Yes.
Go ahead and leave a review, Natalie.
Okay. Oh, wow. I allow. Okay. And then,
So you'll see on the next page, you can put in your own thank you video or whatever you want. And they can
yeah.
download whatever book you want to give them.
And then claim a reward.
Yep.
Oh, neat.
So now I come over here, daily meeting, Natalie Luke. I click in, awesomeness, perfect. But wait, there's more. I add you to a list. I click pitch. And this is what happens. Hey, Nat, wanted to reach out to personally thank you and express my heartfelt gratitude for your wonderful feedback on my recent event. Your 5-star rating and comment, awesomeness, truly resonated with me and affirmed my impact I strive to create. Right? It's right there.
Yeah.
Now I can start building relationships, maybe offer them my book or whatever, tell them about my course, add them to my community, do all of those things.
That is sweet.
That's it.
Angela's like, yes, I love this. I love my job.
That's it. Angela just has to make sure I don't say anything crazy. So it's an easy job sometimes. Sometimes, you know. Any other questions from anyone else? I got about 2 minutes. I'm gonna have to end early because I got to get ready for the podcast I rescheduled. But did this live up to your expectations? I know you probably didn't know what to expect. This is our normal call. We usually do this every day, guys, at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 7 p.m. This is our last 3 p.m. We're consolidating them all to the 12 noon call. Good to see everyone in the audience that are out there on YouTube. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. But join us in the future at 12 p.m., not at 3 p.m. And we'll love to help you. But Natalie, back to you. What's your thoughts?
Oh, I did not expect this. That looks very great.
Watch this. I'm going to show you something else. You want to see something else cool? So you remember I kept asking you about, do you have a framework?
Yeah.
Right. And we were asking about products.
Yeah.
You may want to create.
Yeah.
Things of that sort. So it's going to look at your bio. This may be a little off because it has so much of my stuff in here, but it also will help you with coming up with products. Now these aren't accurate because it's my profile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that would
we
be
believe that your
great.
signature talk, you can only give 3 talks. Only 3 talks have ever been given in the history of speaking. Did you know that?
Mm-mm.
Yep. You can help someone to build a skill. You can help them to become a better leader, or you can help them to make money.
Oh.
So let me show you your talk from 3 different perspectives. Skill building, discover how to break free from limitations, cultivate new skills, and pave the way for personal growth. You notice we left the women's thing off because of the equity and DEI stuff at work. You can't say this is only for women at a corporate gig. So you got to make it inclusive because we don't know how to define women, men, or children these days. So we can't clearly define that. So we just got to make it for everybody.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Skill
Yeah.
building for everybody. Leadership. How do you lead more with empathy and all the things that you already talk about? How do you break barriers to success to grow the business? It's not just in the career, but how do we use this to grow the business? If I could up level all of my management, I could up the business. One of the things that we're doing, we just started a conversation with an executive coaching company that's going to come in and coach our executives at SpeakerHub. Because I know if I can make them better, they can take the company to another level. Right? So, but this is how you give your talk in 3 different ways.
Got it.
Same talk, 3 different audiences, 3 different perspectives.
Got it. Kind of like a diamond.
Yep. And then we talked about your framework. I kept asking you if you had a framework. Well, we're going to see. We'll come up with a framework for you if you didn't have one. It may be an extra one that you use in your toolkit. So we have the potential framework. Plan, observe, try, evaluate, nurture, trust, inspire, achieve, and then lead. If you don't like that one, you can click reset and it'll write another one. It'll come up with something else. But the idea is to get you better prepared, right?
Okay.
So
gotcha.
This one is the Empower framework. There you go. So this is what we do. So I'm going to send you a link for you to create a free profile.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then from that free profile, let me put this in the link. We're going to send you an invite. If you want to try the software for free, we do something called a 7-day challenge where you can
Okay.
hop in and it's called the Booked in 5 Days Challenge is the actual name of it, where we
Okay.
want you to get booked in 5 days.
Okay.
And at the end of it, we'll tell you what it costs. And you can decide if you want to use it after you get a result.
Okay.
Is that fair?
That sounds good.
So, real quick to sum it up, hopefully, this is what I hope you took away from this. Number one is that the get paid to speak marketplace is very crowded because most people see it as an easy way to get a paycheck, as if they're just corporations just sprinkling thousands of dollars on people because they can tell their story.
Mhm.
That's a very crowded market. The people who are really making the money are the people who sell from stage. They go in, they're willing to show up for free. They can get clients out of the audience for their other larger, higher paying things. Those are the people who are winning the most because they can go on any stage. The price is no longer a barrier. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
So that's what we do. That's what we're doing. Hopefully you take that away from here and, think about it. Decide if this, like, do I really want to do that? Or do I just want to, maybe Ron is full of poop. I want to keep trying it my way. Keep trying it your way. We'll still be here. You're always free to come around. We're never pressuring you. You don't even know how much our services cost. That's how how little pressure we put on anyone. Because if you don't believe in the pathway, you wouldn't stick to it anyway. You would just complain.
Right.
And yeah, any other questions for me? I got literally 45 seconds.
No,
I'm gonna take the
I'm
five.
good.
Yep. Alicia, is this making sense?
Yes. Yes.
How do you feel? You feel better about what we're
Um,
doing now?
I used 11 pitches of my 25. What happens when I use all of it? What
Right.
is
So
the
I don't know which plan you're on. I need to look it up because I think you have something with PitchDB also, right? Or you just when you came in through through the speech I did with Sean, I don't remember which one, but we'll talk about it. Let me hop off now and I'll readdress that with you, okay?
Okay. Okay.
But
Thanks.
hey guys, good to see everybody. Natalie, I wasn't picking on you. I just wanted to make sure you got the warmest welcome that we could and that you understood. We are totally against free speech. I don't believe speakers should speak for free at all. Every time you talk, you should get paid. But it's your fault if you don't know how to get paid. So
Yeah.
we wanted to remove that and show you how you can get paid from the time that you've put in it, especially writing a book, so forth and so on. All right.
Sounds great.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.